Our State of the U.S. story tonight, fracking is destroying our land and our water. That is what Congresswoman AOC recently wrote on Twitter. She said, quote, "It is wreaking havoc on our community's health. We must do our job to protect our future from the harms caused by the fracking industry. That is why I am proud to introduce the Fracking Ban Act today," end quote. In the Senate, Elizabeth Warren has introduced a similar ban, a bill to ban fracking nationwide. Bernie Sanders echoes this rhetoric constantly as well, saying if he's president, he will ban fracking. Now, on this show, we've debunked the myth that fracking is an existential threat to our planet. In fact, fracking has reduced more CO2 emissions in the U.S. than the Paris Climate Accords. But our next guest says that his home state, in Pennsylvania's 12th congressional district specifically, but across the whole state, hundreds of thousands of people would lose their jobs, lose their livelihoods and their communities if AOC and Bernie and Elizabeth Warren succeed in banning fracking. With me now, Congressman from Pennsylvania's 12th congressional district, Representative Fred Keller. Congressman, thank you for joining me, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Of course. So this is a really interesting topic we've been talking about for the last week or two on this show, educating the public about the myths about fracking and debunking them. Talk to me about your district specifically, the 12th district in Pennsylvania, and the percentage of our nation's overall supply of natural gas that comes from that little area every year.
Well, you know, when you look at what's happening and the production that comes out of Pennsylvania's 12th congressional district, on any day, up to 10% of the nation's natural gas comes from PA 12. And I think it's so important when you look at the savings that the American families, or just the families in Pennsylvania, I'll talk about that, $1,100 a year in annual reduction in energy costs, lower CO2 emissions, and, you know, thousands of jobs and billions of dollars to our economy. And, you know, I've invited Senator Sanders and Representative Ocasio-Cortez to come to Pennsylvania's 12th congressional district and actually see what's happening and look those families in the eye, the families whose jobs they want to decimate, the communities who they don't think are important enough because they think they know everything there is to know about this, and the things they don't know about, the steps and the things that the companies take as far as safety precautions, also the investments they make in our communities in education. We have Capital Oil and Gas in Susquehanna County, and they invest in Lackawanna College and help train people for careers where they can graduate without a lot of college debt and get jobs making, you know, $50,000, $60,000 a year to start, which is, which is great in that area. And also investing in Susquehanna County a Career and Technical Center for CDL drivers. So I think there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of things that happen that, you know, Senator Sanders, Senator Warren, and Representative Ocasio-Cortez aren't aware of. And I think it's really unfair to take some of their talking points without having actually come out and face the people whose jobs they want to eliminate. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And when you look at what it would cost the average household in America, the estimate is $75,000 the first year, and over the next 4 years, it's over $40,000 or almost $50,000. So you're talking about $120,000, $125,000 a year in 5 years. I mean, there's college. Senator Sanders wants to make college affordable, okay, but then you're just going to take this opportunity away from people. And I just think that Senator Warren, Senator Sanders, and Representative Ocasio-Cortez really don't understand what this means. I mean, you know, I know the acronym AOC comes out a lot of times. Right now, that AOC stands for absent of common sense. This really adds to our communities, helps our nation's energy supply, makes us energy independent. And I know they've spent a couple years trying to say that Russia wants to interfere with our elections and the president somehow helped them. Well, they're looking to help Russia because one way to keep Russia out of America is to stop sending them our wealth and our allies' wealth. So there's a lot of things I think that they haven't thought through on this policy, and if they want to do this and they're serious about it, the first step is to come to PA 12 and face the individuals whose jobs they want to eliminate.
Right. So this is personal to you, in other words. This is not just politics. This is not just Capitol Hill bickering. This is the lives and the livelihoods of the people who you represent. This is very personal to you. That's the thing that I've noticed, sir, about Democrats' policies, is their policies impact people other than themselves. Their policies typically have no impact on, or Democrat policies typically have no impact on the Democrat lawmakers. It's just on other people here. There's a study done by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce as well that said that a fracking ban would cost the entire state of Pennsylvania more than 600,000 jobs and over $261 billion in GDP within the next 5 years by 2025. 600,000 jobs. That would literally decimate Pennsylvania.
Well, a lot of other things. Again, you look at Senator Warren, who's introducing this bill, as you've said, yet she flew the private plane out to Iowa. I mean, again, it's one of these things where their policies apply to everybody else but not themselves. And again, rather than put these policies out, let's really do what makes sense. We're all concerned about the area we live in and the fact that CO2 emissions are lower because of cleaner natural gas, the fact that our nation is more secure, our allies are more secure because we have this energy resource. A lot of these policies that happen here inside the Washington, D.C. bubble aren't good for America and American citizens.